Hey folks, Tom Norfleet with www.citizenshipquickly.com. I wanted to talk to you about how to get your taxes to zero or close to zero. The internet today is drastically changing the world where now you can work from your computer with the push of a button or making calls on the internet from any tax-friendly country to run a consulting business, a trading business, an internet business, import-export business, and many other hundreds of types of business and make millions doing it. If you know how to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. The problem is most people don't know how to do it, or they don't feel confident in putting it into action. And we'll actually show you how to do this. I've got 35 years plus a track record in showing people how to do these types of things. We show you the fastest ways to get a second passport and a second residency. I've been in the consulting business of redirecting people how to save on taxes for almost 40 years now. No company's got the experience and knowledge that we have in actually doing this internationally. I've been traveling the world for about 40 years now and can tell you the best countries as far as cost, taxes, weather, healthcare, crime, and freedom. I have become a successful person and entrepreneur, but I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. I'm not a registered financial advisor and I'm not an accountant. We don't give out investment advice on equities or commodities to buy, but my company is licensed to sell real estate in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis to people who actually pay for our consulting services. I've traveled all over the world as far back as 1976, and I've seen a lot of changes in that period of time. I actually grew up in the USA, but relinquished my U.S. citizenship many years ago before a U.S. consulate office before they actually started charging to administer the paperwork to relinquish. We'll actually educate you on the best rated banks in the world, and you'd be surprised because most of these banks won't be in the country that more than likely you're actually living in. We'll also show you the best online brokers as far as cost and services to buy stocks and other types of investments and how to negotiate special rates with them. We take the searching out of the picture so you can spend all your time making money. Moving to a tax haven, or if you're a U.S. citizen, relinquishing your citizenship will not automatically stop your withholding tax on dividends when buying equities. What country you choose to invest in for your equities will change the actual withholding tax. We'll also show you how some high tax countries will even eliminate the withholding tax on the dividend if the dividend is automatically reinvested to buy more shares instead of receiving the cash directly and have the tax taken out automatically. Not all banks and brokers offer reinvestment of dividends when buying foreign equities. We'll actually show you the ones that will do this. Everyone thinks that Switzerland and Malta are tax havens or offer big tax advantages, but these two countries actually have the highest withholding tax rates on dividends from foreigners buying their equities of any countries in the world at 35%. Chile is the only other country that has a rate this high. There's actually currently right now 21 countries in the world that have a 0% withholding tax on their rate on equities, which means these countries do not tax anyone on dividends paid out from companies in these countries, but because of where you live or the citizenship that you might have, you still more than likely will have to pay the taxes on these dividends because of the tax laws of where you're actually living, or because you have a citizenship that taxes its citizens on their worldwide income, no matter where they actually reside. The USA and the African country of Eritrea are the only countries in the world that taxes its citizens on their worldwide income, no matter where they reside, but the USA is the only one that actually enforces it. A dividend, give or take, makes up about 40% of the profits that you make on an equity. The other part is the actual capital gain. My whole theory is, why would someone buy an equity in a country where you know 100% that you're going to lose 35% off the dividend in a tax in the equity guarantee? That's over a third of the profits that you're going to be losing on the actual dividend. That can add up to a ton of money that's lost over your lifetime. We're actually not in the business of recommending equities in any type of security, but we will recommend properties on the property option to get citizenship in all of the citizenship by investment programs all the world if you're a client in our company. What exactly does Citizenship Quickly do? We deal with second passports, second residencies, offshore corporations, and we'll also instruct you where the best banks in the world that would take you as a client and also give you the strategy to put all these together in a fashion that will get your taxes to zero or close to zero, no matter how high your income is. A lot of the Jews lost their lives during the Holocaust because they didn't have a second passport already in place when Germany was falling apart in the 1930s. A guy by the name of Jamal Khashoggi was murdered when he went into a Saudi embassy in 2018 to get some required marital papers. He already had some discomfort going into the Saudi embassy, but he had no choice because he didn't have a second passport. And if he had had this second passport, it could have possibly saved his life. My goal is to be your coach and to get your taxes as low as possible, and show you how to protect your assets away from greedy lawyers and other people trying to get hold of your assets. Asset protection needs to be done before you have an existing problem. Otherwise, this is called fraudulent conveyance if you try to do it when you know you've got a problem. I'll show you how to increase your freedom by getting away from so much filing and government bureaucracy, which will give you a lot more time to make money and spend more time with your family. When you're eliminating 100% of your tax problem, you can actually save 80-90% of your money. And by putting this into sound investments, you'll be able to retire a lot quicker. There are a lot of foreign banks that offer currencies that pay in that currency 10% and higher. There's also a currency risk involved in going into another currency, which can also give you an extra boost, but it can also go back the other way. One thing that's nice about going into international banks is you can diversify in different currencies more easily. There's 7 billion people in the world to market your product to, and now you've got YouTube and other social media to get out your message. There are loads of countries that will roll out the red carpet to you and give you a lot of tax advantages that you wouldn't get otherwise. My favorite place in the world is the Caribbean, in the island chain of Leeward Island chain of countries. But yours might be a place like Panama, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Hong Kong, Dubai. It could be Bahamas, Belize. All of these countries and many more have really good tax laws. Did you know that the USA has some of the highest labor costs and healthcare costs of any country in the world? Citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis have free healthcare in the hospitals starting as early as 62 years old, and you don't have to pay into the system to qualify. And the funny thing is, St. Kitts has no income taxes. This just shows you how much is actually wasted from countries that require 40 to 60% in tax dollars to just pay for your health care. Dental care is free for citizens in St. Kitts starting as early as 60 years old. And if you're under this age, you only pay about $29 US for a dental exam to have your teeth cleaned. It's very inexpensive for healthcare services in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. I actually outsource a lot of my work to places like Pakistan, where they do speak fluent English. And the minimum wage there is around $150 US a month. This leaves a lot more money to actually run your business or invest in other places. These are things that you need to look at if you're really wanting to get your utilize your money, get your taxes as low as possible. Folks, if you don't have a system in place to get your taxes down to zero, close to zero, get some help. If it's not through our company, through someone, you can look at our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. We'd be glad to help you on this. If you got a question or comment, if you'll hit that in the comment section below. Also, you can hit the subscribe button to the right of the screen, and you'll get new videos as they come out. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care. Bye.